As Savannah said, I'm Bob Powell. I am the founder and CEO here at Brightmark. So just thanks so much for taking time to join us today for Waste Reimagined 2020. Brightmark Waste Reimagined, this event is our annual opportunity to, as a team with our external partners and supporters, to reflect on the accomplishments from the year behind us and take a look forward. I do wish we were here together in person, but I can imagine right now an event with 200 people in one place probably would be frowned upon. So I'm nonetheless really happy and glad to have the opportunity to connect about how Brightmark and our partners are working to solve some of the planet's most pressing environmental challenges with grit and incredible imagination. We strive to keep it fun and to center our work around an optimistic view of the future and of our ability to help solve these problems even in the year 2020. And that's what we'll do and talk about today. So people often ask me, how can you maintain your positive outlook when your work requires you to face these stark problems, these environmental issues head on? And I do have to admit, it hasn't always been easy for me. So from a journey perspective for me, back in '95, I had my real first opportunity to travel internationally as part of my job with a major global consulting firm. And I expected white beaches and clear waters in places like Jakarta and Bali. So it's pretty shocked to my core to see young kids, the same age as my oldest child, Sean, who was 5 at the time. And these kids were playing in beaches that were covered in trash and in open sewers. It really, really bothered me. And it stayed with me until now. So that and other things in my journey have really inspired me to develop my personal ethos that was built into the core vision we have here at Brightmark. 20 years after my first visits and over a year before our founding, I decided to forego what many would have thought was a great opportunity to found Brightmark. What I wanted for us to achieve more was a different path. For us to consider, how does one live an impactful life? How can we as human beings live life in a way that's more considered? To rethink, to reimagine what we thought was possible. Ultimately, that period was one of the most pivotal times in my life, built on some fundamental tenets that served as our guidepost on our path forward. We were to be bold and impassioned about our company's identity, values, and culture, and the problems we were to solve. We wanted to be a people to take accountability for these problems, not to just help stand by there helplessly as they all occur. So the future belongs to those who risk and take action to affect change. And we set out to be those people. Now we've journeyed far in the 5 short years since Brightmark's genesis. Our mission, culture, and values are nourished and evolved with the impact of each of our team members and our partners. And I want to thank all of you for making us better every single day. Today, Brightmark is bringing together visionary engineering and cutting-edge waste solutions to make a positive impact on our communities and the world around us, while keeping an eye toward the future. So our mission is to reimagine waste, and simply put, Brightmark aims to change the world. Doesn't really sound that hard, does it? So I think with big ambition, we need to have big goals. So this year, in honor of the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, we announced new measurable objectives to demonstrate our deep commitment to putting our environmental values at the center of all we do. In the next 5 years, we aim to divert 8.4 million metric tons of plastic from landfills and the natural environment. Of that 8.4 million metric tons, we expect and commit to produce 1.7 million tons of the feedstocks necessary to remake plastics, thus creating a truly circular solution at an unheard of scale. We also will offset the release of 22 million metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions. By focusing on the big picture and the long-term good that we're trying to do, I know these goals are within our reach. Our plastics renewal solutions are poised to be a game changer right at the time where the world faces a major plastics recycling shortfall. Communities are struggling with a deluge of contaminated plastics that aren't traditionally recyclable. Luckily, Brightmark has a proven breakthrough market-ready solution, which we're scaling up nationally to meet this demand. We are able to single stream recycle plastics 1 through 7, including contaminated, littered plastics from our waterways, and transform this waste at a scale never achieved before back into useful materials, including ultra-low sulfur, low greenhouse gas emission diesel, and naphtha, as well as wax. Our process is also capable of creating the building blocks for new plastics, thus enabling a circular economy in the plastics industry, which is our ultimate goal. In fact, we've already successfully disrupted particularly challenging waste streams, including boat shrink wrap, e-waste, and children's car seats, which I'll discuss more in a moment. Just as important are negative carbon solutions we achieve using anaerobic digestion, which processes organic waste, which for us is currently primarily on farms where we take manure. And when I say manure, I mean a lot of cow poo. And it extracts the biogas from that waste and then converts and compresses it into renewable natural gas, or RNG. The environmental benefits of these RNG projects we're siting in rural communities across the country are significant, since they prevent methane from being released directly into the atmosphere. And in case you didn't know, methane is 84 times more impactful to the climate than CO2. So research shows that when all the climate benefits are considered together, RNG from dairy manure reduces greenhouse gas emissions 400% when it's used to replace traditional vehicle fuels. It's also important to mention that these farm-based RNG projects have been shown to significantly reduce local pollution as well. The process recovers most of the nitrogen and phosphorus from the manure so that it can't escape into local waterways and water tables via runoff. And some of our projects then use these nutrients to create balanced biofertilizers that help grow local crops. Our RNG projects deliver a true win-win in terms of driving sustainable agriculture with significantly less waste and improving economic development in rural communities that support us all through agriculture. And I want to thank our farmer partners for helping to make this happen. And while we still have a way to go, we've experienced a great deal of success today, and that really set us up for seeing us to our vision. In the past 2 years, Brightmark has more than quadrupled the size of our team. Since inception, we've garnered more than $340 million in total investments in our projects and acquired our proprietary plastic renewal technology that will help to create surfaces for formerly single-use plastics. Earlier this year, Brightmark rebranded. We dropped energy from our name to really better reflect the company's global growth trajectory in support of our mission to build a world without waste, as well as the outputs that Brightmark produces other than energy, including clean water, wax, and the materials to remake new plastics, and the biofertilizers. The brand emphasis was a major accomplishment for our team, exemplifying our ambition, focus, and scale of thinking. In addition to the new name, we also unveiled a new corporate brand identity, logo, and website, as well as our Reimagine Waste tagline. We're truly focused on top to bottom solutions to the planet's waste challenges, and the Brightmark brand can now carry us through in pursuit of that vision. I hope you agree with me that our new branding and messaging is really awesome and reflective of who we are. This past year, as you can see here, also saw our plastic renewal vision begin to come to life. After years of planning, and man, it feels good, we've now financed and will soon complete our $260 million, first of its kind, plastic renewal facility. It's located in Ashley, Indiana. Beginning in early 2021, the plant will accept 100,000 tons of plastics each year for conversion into new products, a vastly greater scale than any other facility of its kind in the world. So construction on the Ashley plant has been ongoing throughout the year, And I'm pleased to report that we're wrapping up the construction now and moving into the startup phase. The process testing has been a great success with many challenges, but even more solutions. This summer, the plant produced its first plastic pellets, which you can sort of see there, which are the input for our system that will convert the pellets to fuels and wax. Today, we've produced 600 tons of these pellets, and they're now awaiting their final transformation back into useful products, or should I say, not final, but really the journey continues for those plastics that would have otherwise been thrown away. So, to that end, I'm very proud to announce for the very first time today that our Ashley plant has now produced over 4,500 gallons of hydrocarbon liquids from these pellets. This is a major accomplishment for our team as we ramp up the liquid production to feed the final step of refining into naphtha, diesel, and wax with the equipment that's now being delivered to the site. This means that we can officially, at scale, turn plastic back into usable products. So your old yogurt container that would have previously ended up in a landfill or an ocean for decades or more can now be used to fuel your car. This means we can firmly demonstrate to our partners all over the world that our technology is the future of plastic recycling. I do want to give a shout out to the BP team who partnered with us for years in the belief that what is happening now in Ashley would happen, even when others didn't believe. This proven innovation will affect the lives of people for many generations to come. And I can't tell you how great it feels to see that plastic going onto our line and in liquids coming out the other side of our facility. It really is the beginning of the realization of the team's dream. And I want to thank our hardworking team for making this possible. I'm also incredibly proud of our Ashley team's commitment to sustainability within our own practices at the plant. I think they're really practicing what they preach by committing to zero waste and recycling 100% of the plastic waste created from the construction process. Since we broke ground at the site there, the team has diverted more than 21,000 pounds of plastic from local landfills, including items from Halloween candy wrappers, paint buckets to packaging. Everything that can be recycled is being recycled, and that's really how it should be. We're disrupting other waste streams in Indiana as well. We've partnered with area marinas and the Northeast Indiana Solid Waste Management District on a first of its kind program to collect and recycle post-use boat shrink wrap, all that plastic you see littered around throughout the Midwest. The wrap avoids the landfill and instead gets turned into something of value for boat owners, fuel. The fuel produced from this boat wrap then goes into the transportation fuel pool in the Midwest, which shows you just one example of the transformative impact we're having. Other partnerships we're excited about include our developing relationships with brand owners who are keen to recycle the product packaging, the post-consumer use packaging. We believe these potential partnerships will create innovative, sustainable waste solutions. Now that Ashley is nearly up and running, our team has been able to move forward with an even greater ambition for the future of the plastic renewal technology and our impact on the world. To that end, and I do have to say, it's really good to look at a map with one color right now, green color. So to that end, this year, we launched a nationwide search through an RFP for our next US plastics renewal plant sites. We plan to make investments of approximately $500 million to $1 billion at each site location, directly creating hundreds of new jobs in each host community with significant additional indirect economic activity anticipated occurring in each one of the communities. Each plant will process hundreds of thousands of tons of plastics each year in what is really a major scaling up of our direct impact on waste streams nationwide. The initial response to this RFP was amazing, which really demonstrates for us just how hungry communities are for solution to these waste and recycling challenges that they and we're all facing. And quite frankly, we didn't know what to expect, but more than 100 communities participated in our open RFP process, which we've now narrowed down to key regions in Florida, Georgia, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Louisiana, and Texas. And I'm pleased to tell you that we've identified 3 US sites that we plan to announce early next year. Also, and you're the first to hear this, we've identified multiple international sites for Brightmark recycling plants. So keep an eye out for updates from us about those locations next year. So as we scale our footprint, we're going to need more plastic, a lot more plastic. To line that feedstock up, a few months ago, we launched the largest ever solicitation for plastic waste. We're actively looking to contract for 1.2 million tons of post-use plastics each year in the eastern half of the United States. Plastics 3 through 7 in particular are not easily recyclable with other technologies and typically end up in landfills, incinerators, or sadly in our oceans. Nothing like this has ever been done before, but amazingly, we've already secured more than 1 million tons of plastic we need, and we're still on the hunt for more. If your organization can provide us with a minimum of 1,000 tons of plastic a year, I encourage you to visit our website for more information and reach out to us directly to discuss the opportunities. We've had a rapid momentum on the negative carbon impact, renewable natural gas side of our business as well. We've now partnered with 23 dairies in 7 states on RNG projects. And once all of these projects are operational, Brightmark's RNG projects will generate enough renewable natural gas each year to drive 5,100 18-wheeler trucks from San Francisco to New York. To me, that's an extraordinary impact. And in addition to the climate and air and water benefits of each one of those projects, the other things that are amazing to me are getting a chance to visit some of the communities that we're impacting, we're working together with. So when I make those visits, of course, I have personal protective equipment on these days, but I have the chance to meet with dairy farmers and other community leaders that we're partnering with. And I'm always struck by their commitments to sustainability and taking accountability for change in their communities. I even recently got an opportunity to help feed the cows over by our Demeter project in Wisconsin. For example, in June, Brightmark delivered at that same project in Wisconsin, in Dane County, RNG to the injection station at Dane County. And it's sited at the county landfill, and it's the first of its kind project in the US. The offloading station is part of a larger project to process the county's landfill biogas for local pipeline injection. Now that it's complete, our project there in Dane County will convert 90,000 gallons per day of dairy manure from 3 local farms into the RNG. Every single truckload of our fuel that delivers to that offloading station will in turn reduce greenhouse gas emissions, the equivalent to that of burning 24,000 pounds of coal. It's a tremendous impact, and that's just one of dozens of our projects. So going forward, we're in an even better position to grow the impact of our RNG work. Thanks to our recently announced joint venture with Chevron, we're partnering to build and own dairy biomethane projects across the US, which will allow us to expand our successful RNG project model to even more farms in more states. Our initial joint investment with Chevron will fund the construction of infrastructure and the commercial operation of 4 dairy biomethane project clusters, with much more to come. Not only does this partnership enable us to scale our RNG work and its impact on the environment very quickly, but it also speaks volumes to the confidence that Chevron has in our RNG projects as a sustainable solution for farming practices. The joint venture is a powerful partnership that will accelerate Brightmark's ambition to achieve a global net zero carbon future. Chevron is one of the world's largest buyers of low carbon sustainable fuels, and we're excited to partner to help them in their commitment to improve how affordable, reliable, ever cleaner energy is developed and delivered. It's absolutely imperative to our team that we're able to develop these life cycle carbon negative projects all over the world. And this partnership with Chevron is a huge step forward in that process. To that end, I really encourage any dairy farmers who are interested in learning more about our projects to reach out to us to see how we might be able to work together. We're developing these projects nationwide, and we're always seeking partners who are interested in collaborating with us. So visit our website, give us a shout, let's see how we can work together. Collaboration is the secret sauce that brings ambition, scale, and impact to our work. I see the power of this collaborative approach most clearly when I reflect on our work with Indianapolis-based Recycle Forest. Recycle Forest is a social enterprise nonprofit that provides recycling services as well as workforce training, jobs, and job placement for formerly incarcerated men and women transitioning back to society. Recycle Force's vision fits squarely with ours: to reconsider the value that our society places on what we toss aside and give it a second chance, to reimagine what is wasted and to see the inherent value. The social benefits of what Recycle Force is doing are measurable and significant. The recidivism rate of Recycle Force's participants is below 25% versus about 77% nationwide. It's truly extraordinary. And I'll tell you, the time I've spent with the Recycle Force team has really impacted and changed me. It's a mission we can get behind in more ways than one. Our multifaceted partnership with them includes efforts around the training, hiring, and recycling, specifically electronics and other difficult to recycle items for processing at our plant in Ashley, and it's working. To date, we've been able to disrupt a particularly difficult waste stream, children's car seats. With Recycle Force's help, we've processed 4,000 car seats to date, which equals about 28,000 pounds of plastic. Because we're taking these materials off their hands and providing them with an additional revenue source, Recycle Force has been able to grow its program and to take on more materials for processing and more trainees. That's super exciting for us that we've been able to help them out. Another issue our team feels really strong about is solving the ocean waste issue. I was inspired when about a dozen of our team members that you can see there recently participated in the Ocean Conservancy's International Coastal Cleanup. We also partnered with Net Your Problem for that, which brings together fishermen and recyclers to safely dispose of fishing nets and turn them into new products. Our team members visited a Washington State coastline to clean up litter from a local beach and retrieve all the plastic from that beach to send it to our Ashley, Indiana plant for transformation into fuel and wax. We also donated a plastic baler to Net Your Problem so that we can continue to scale the power of our organizations in order to fight the ocean plastic pollution crisis. Giving back is incredibly important to us, and we've got other partnerships in the works right now. Later this month, we'll be announcing an educational partnership with the National Agriculture Organization, and we're all looking forward to that opportunity to get students involved in solving these environmental challenges. So if you can't tell, we've been a little busy this year, and we've got a lot to look forward to as well. In the coming year, our team will be focused on execution, delivering what we say we're going to deliver, and scale. More RNG projects, partnering with new farmers in new states, as well as establishing our first international projects, bringing our Ashley plant fully online and growing the processing footprint of that site so it can serve as a major recycling hub for the Midwest. And of course, we're really looking forward to announcing new sites for our plastics renewal facilities, both domestic and internationally. So stay tuned, lots of goodness to come. We've got a lot to look forward to and a great deal to be proud of. I want to thank our incredible team here at Brightmark for bringing our vision to reality with their hard work each and every day. I also want to thank our key partners for believing in us and for sharing in our ambition. And finally, I want to thank our attendees once more for being here with us today, remotely, unfortunately, but still happy to have you here to really take the time to learn more about Brightmark and our mission to reimagine waste. We travel farther when we travel together. So wraps up my keynote thoughts for the day. I want to thank everyone again, and now back over to you, Savannah.